So welcome to week 6. I know Dr. Kearney has prepared her usual weekly announcement video that has recapped all that you accomplished in week 5 and really helps orient you for the upcoming week in week 6. But I wanted to just check in very quickly and reintroduce myself as Dr. Kearney and I start to shift roles and transition. I will be taking a more direct role this week and moving forward in terms of leading the class. So I wanted to say hi and go over a few things with all of you. First, I have been very closely following the work that you've been submitting, and like Dr. Kearney said, I'm very excited and encouraged by the quality and substance of the discussions that are taking place, both in your working groups and really across the whole class discussion board. I think having a sounding board of sorts for your initial reactions to the readings that we've been exploring, but also as well as your initial collection and analytic experience, is extremely helpful. And the more that you're able to interact and engage and support each other through the process, I think the more you'll be able to see your work evolve. So keep up the good work. That being said, you do have an assignment due this week, assignment D, and it asks you to take the data that you've collected thus far through your observations. So some artifacts, perhaps, memos from your observations, and draft a few paragraphs outlining tentative findings and your initial impression really of what the data is telling you. You know, at this point, it's very hard. You're working with a limited data set, so there's no expectations in terms of having any kind of robust or complete analysis. But you can kind of think of it as getting your feet wet and think of it as an opportunity to apply the constructs that you've been reading about to your own personal data set. I think the experience of even trying to analyze data in and of itself can be very helpful. You're able to pinpoint trouble spots or areas of difficulty before you accumulate too much data, and you're unable to work through those problems on a more complete data set. So think of it kind of as an opportunity to work out the kinks in your collection and analytic process at this point. Assignment D sets us up very nicely for next week, which will include your second Skype conference call of the semester, and this time it will be with me. So Dr. Kearney was the one that reviewed and graded assignment C, but I'm quite familiar with your intended research projects and your anticipated research trajectory for the semester. So I'm really looking forward to the opportunity to getting to speak with each of you individually about where you're at in that process. I know for some of us, the suggested timeline as outlined in the course hasn't really fit with your collection process because of issues of access or your own schedule or the schedule of your site. So these Skype calls will be a really good opportunity to check in on the progress you've made and make a concrete plan for moving forward for the time that we have remaining together. So just like Dr. Kearney did, I'll be sending out a schedule that we can kind of register for time slots that work for all of us with personal and work lives and schedules. I teach until 3 every day, so the majority of these calls will take place in the late afternoon or the evening. If you feel particularly ambitious or you feel ahead of the game and want to get a jump on the conference, this week my mornings are open because one of the schools I teach at is on spring break. So I have a little bit more flexibility this week. So I'm thinking even Thursday or Friday after your assignment D is initially due that Thursday night. I could begin Skyping with some of you if that works with your schedules and you want to check that off your to-do list. But like I said, I'll send out a schedule and we can kind of go from there and see what works for each of you. My one request is that before we have our conference, that you send me 2 to 3 questions that you really want to focus the conversation around when we do Skype. I want to be able to really maximize our time together and speak to the issues that you personally are encountering with collection or analysis. And so having those questions ahead of time will allow me to just make the most of our conference session. So that is everything on my end. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to seeing what you've been able to accomplish through your observations, and I'm quite excited about our opportunity to converse next week about continued progress in the class. Dr. Kearney did indicate in her video, if you have questions or concerns, please do include both of us on your emails. We will be in constant contact for the rest of this semester, but from here on out, I will be taking a more direct role, like I said. So just make sure that I'm included on any kinds of email conversations that you are having, so that I can stay in the loop on everything that's going on. Thank you. And like I said, I'm looking forward to speaking with each of you.